This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by IndyWrestling.us. Check out IWC, RWA, and more. And listeners like you, support this show at patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Hungry as fuck, but I ain't starving yet. Chain for the pain, cocktail dog set. Never said I was a gangster or thug, but I'm an animal. Beat for the taste of the blood.
Hey guys, it is the Indy Mayhem Show. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on the Twitter. Here in the Sorgatron Media bunker, just myself and that Bailey doll over there. So if you're not on video, don't worry, it's a kid's doll. No, that's creepier now. Never mind, just moving on. Anyways, this is the Indy Mayhem Show, and as we have been doing, we've been trying to get together. You know, there's not much to promote right now, unless you're in essential wrestling. So we're trying to get everybody together just to touch base, see how everybody's doing, check in on the mental health of everybody going on. And we got a different crew with us again tonight. Of course, Ronnie Starks is hanging out because he just gets around. He just has an open link and hops in. How you doing, Ronnie?
I'm just fantastic.
And moving, so pleased to be here. Great, Ronnie. You're doing so much better than Tuesday night. Also rolling around the Brady Bunch, Quinn Magnum is with us. Creative mind, I guess I could say, behind some wrestling in the area.
Sometimes
when you're feeling up to it. Calvin Couture is with us as well.
What's up?
And BC Steele is on with us.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Boo.
Yay!
Now we're talking.
I technically have a connection to everybody on this panel.
I started thinking about that when I invited you. I'm just like, wait, this kind of works out, doesn't it? So, you want to explain that real quick for the
yeah. Well, Ronnie and I are kindred spirits of the managing cloth. Obviously, I manage Calvin Couture.
Oh,
I've been on the Sorg Show multiple times, and Quinn has been ducking my challenge for a rematch for about 5 or 6 years now. So,
I'm too old.
Well, there goes. So, all right, I win by default.
There you go.
You want to count out? You
I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you.
Hold on, I got a referee in the chat room. I'll invite him in, and we'll get this taken care of then. So how is everybody holding out? We are, I think, officially a month before since everything started falling out, at least here in this area, as far as wrestling shows and everything. How are you guys coping out there?
My life hasn't changed one bit. I'm still working, and I don't do shit otherwise than that, so I'm good.
Your weekends are just free, right?
Yeah, well, they've been free for a few months.
Oh, that's true. That's true. What about you, Calvin?
I'm trying to not lose my mind. But it's all good. I'm coming out with a new series of Outfit of the Day inspirations. So those will be coming to Instagram. I'm going to be doing some new video reviews here shortly. So if you ever wanted to know what Calvin thinks of a certain thing, I'll watch it and I'll review it if I haven't watched it already. So, just let me know what you want me to review and I'll get on that.
Wait, so like anything across the board, fully fan submitted?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, do I have videos for you to review?
Yeah. Now I don't know if I'm gonna do like a screen in, screen out or not. I don't know. We'll see. Some of the stuff I'm not sure yet.
Yeah.
A lot of this is pretty generic. There's some stuff that people want me to review that I've already watched. So we'll see. I'll probably put a preview of one out there, then I might put the rest on my Patreon. If there's interest. So we'll see. We'll see how the first one goes, and I'll go from there.
I'm gonna put an early request in for Velocipaster as a watch. It's an easy 110 or hour 10 minutes. You'll be great.
Okay. Well, I can do a live reaction if you'd like, or I can do and edit it from there or whatever. We'll figure it out.
There you go. What about you, BC? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. It's nice to not have to see ugly people every day. So that I appreciate. And
make me blush.
I just downloaded TikTok, BC_Steele. From what I understand, it's people doing stupid lip syncing and dancing, and I have been doing those things for years. So it's about time my ship has come in.
It's a little bit. So this seems like the time that everybody's hopped on that. Like I had a history podcast hit me up today about like how do I TikTok and does this dancing Hitler gif work? And I'm like, well, you might not want to start with Hitler for your first TikTok. So
There's really nowhere to go when you anywhere in life. If you start at Hitler, there's nowhere to go but down.
yeah, there's a lot of Winston Churchill, and I'm trying to figure out how that's going to translate at that point there. So, so of course we're the day removed, depending on when you're listening to this. If you're not live with us, hold on, I'm trying to follow BC Steel to see what he's got going on over here. But
Oh,
no,
right now, nothing. Absolutely.
nothing. But I mean, everybody, Calvin, are you on the TikTok?
No, I won't.
I feel like
I don't,
you won't do it. I feel like you would
no.
fit right in on it.
I don't like it. I don't know. There's something about it that kind of irks me. First thing being, I'm not a 13-year-old girl. So that's
Well,
something
not
that
with that attitude.
from doing that. I don't know. I mean, like, it's cool that if people are doing it. It's just not my thing. I don't know. Too much effort. I'd rather just do my own shit and put it on Instagram. To be honest.
Enough different formats.
Yeah.
Although it is weird on Awesome because there's been discussion about how the it's skewing older now because everybody's at home and getting into it. So maybe worthwhile. But Rev, I know, has been doing really great with it. Ronnie, I'm surprised you're not putting your toy unboxings on there or something.
I could. I mean, I just quit the Twitter. I guess I can join the TikTok.
Jeez.
And I
Andy
feel like I've
Rose
been
is
hearing
on TikTok.
a lot of theories about China spying on you through the app. So I don't know. My brother's a huge conspiracy theorist, though. So I just feel like he tells me all that stuff. Not that that matters. I just don't have time for TikTok. I can hardly keep up with everything else.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll come to you when if it's important enough, it'll kind of come to you at that point, right?
They can reach out to me.
Absolutely. So,
I feel insulted. You didn't ask me if I'm on TikTok.
well, I was just well, I didn't want to put you in an awkward place there, but so Quinn, what is your TikTok? Is it
Oh, it's TikTok. What is it? TikTok Quinn. Go fuck yourself.
okay? That seems
There you
right.
go.
That's
My
see,
daughter's
good.
on it. My phone's full of TikToks of my daughter.
that's the message you gotta send to the Chinese government, Quinn. You're onto something.
hmm
Yeah.
You're
Get my
onto
house nuclear bomb. That'd be cool.
So does your daughter make you dance in the TikToks at all? Or, like, because I know like they like to pull the parents into that.
No, she does not like to do that, but I like to like kind of, I guess, TikTok bomb it, like
Oh,
a
okay.
photo bomb.
So
So I embarrass the shit out of her.
so there's
That's
a
pretty
lot
cool.
of dad.
Yes. What are you doing? I'm making an idiot of you and me.
Awesome. Anything else you guys have started doing differently, trying to get the creative juices out? I know Quinn, you're working on some stuff. That we're, I guess you're just continuing stuff that you've been working on since before this.
Yeah. Just more of a clear head, I guess,
Mhm.
right now. So more ideas filtering out, which is a good thing.
Yes, I know Ronnie, you got some projects under wraps as well
You
that are in the
know,
works.
Quinn, I have something that belongs to you.
You talking to me?
Yeah, I have something that belongs to you still.
What?
I have your belt.
Oh,
If you
okay.
if you want that back sometime in the future,
Yeah, whatever. That's fine.
It's been making a lot of appearance on the Mayhem show, so
it has.
yeah.
I'm
yeah,
going to
lovely.
assume you mean wrestling belts and not like a belt to hold up his pants. Because if
Yeah,
so,
it's
I'm going to have
the
a few questions.
it's the
Yeah,
it's the
so would
Triple
I.
Crown title.
So I guess trying to roll around too before I was like, hey, there's some bad news this week, and I kind of want to get your guys' thoughts on it. Of course, what we call Black Wednesday yesterday.
Yeah, everybody's calling it.
So of
I mean,
course, what's that?
technically. It was tax day, technically.
It was tax day. And the biggest thing, like you mentioned, IRS got let go from WWE on tax day,
Not
which is you can't write
heard it.
that at this
Mm.
point, right?
It's just-
Over 20 people from the roster got let go, and I understand there might be some more from the NXT rosters in the coming days too. What do you guys think from your angle? You know, seeing this is the biggest company doing this, and you know, to look and see, you know, they're having trouble on that side of things, thus far with this. Like, what are you guys thinking looking at that?
So my personal opinion, I mean, it's a hard time for everybody.
Yeah.
with everything going on. I have so many friends that have lost jobs because of what's going on. And companies have to make hard decisions. And granted, they're not as large as WWE, but there are so many companies that are going bankrupt, can't keep a certain amount, or really only have essential people. And honestly, I'm surprised that this didn't happen sooner with WWE. Just with everything going on, it's sad. It really is because it's people's livelihood. But there's about 5 million, even more than that, I think, other Americans that are going through similar situations. So it's sad, but at the same time, like, I mean, think of all the other performers, athletes, and celebrities, not even among the American people, the general public that are going through it. So yeah, it's sad to see some of our favorites go, but at the same time, I'm kind of shocked it didn't happen sooner.
Mhm. Anybody else, BC?
I think there's three ways to look at it. From a wrestling fan standpoint, it's kind of exciting because who's going to show up where and who's going to move around and see people in new places just with a new coat of paint, so to speak. From a business standpoint, it's probably not good PR. It's not good timing, but WWE seems to be Teflon when it comes to that, and it just kind of bounces right off. And from a shareholder standpoint, it's a little bit upsetting because the stock at one point was, I believe, near triple digits, if not at triple digits. And now I think it's trading for like $30, $40. I could be completely wrong, but so that's kind of worrisome. But I'm sure that I think the agents were furloughed, so I'm sure they'll be brought back once they start doing house shows and pick back up. And I'm sure some of the talent will move to AEW or maybe Impact or Ring of Honor or wherever else. And the one, I don't know if I'd say nice thing, but I'm sure once wrestling and life gets back to normal, indies are going to be just clamoring for talent and guys are going to be clamoring to work. So maybe not right now, but the market will hopefully allow for things to continue.
Absolutely. What about you, Quinn?
I think the big question is, how's Bray Wyatt feel about his dad getting the axe?
Yeah, other names that are there, when you look at that list, and there's some really significant names, but you see people that you haven't seen for a while, like Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel, like you haven't seen anywhere. Not part of that list. It's very weird when you look at that full roster a little bit. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think ultimately it's going to benefit them because they're, like you just said, they weren't being used. You know what I mean? Kind of an afterthought. Now they can go somewhere and actually be a main eventer. You know what I mean? Where it would be, I don't know, AEW, Impact, whatever the hell. Ring of Honor. I mean, even the Indies. They can probably command a pretty decent amount of money at this point. I mean, once everything gets up and going again.
I think somebody said I'm holding on to my stimulus check for when for booking the Major Brothers reunion at AIW or something. So
no, I'm sure promoter who sounds like a inbred moron who shall not be named that runs 3 shows every year will book half of the guys that were released and then stop running shows. And I'm sure by saying that everybody who's listening know who I mean.
I mean that could be across state though. Everybody knows that guy, right? All across.
Dodgers.
I'll just say his name rhymes with Go Dodgers.
Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
It's a beautiful day.
Well, I think the great thing here, and we're already seeing this with, we're seeing this in our circles, right? Everybody's kind of taken to social media and still being creative. We're already seeing EC3, like he's already put out like 2 videos today. Like there's at least a creative outlet if there's not wrestling to go to. The conversation of like, oh, they'll be great at AEW. Geez, I do that all the time. And it's like, we don't know what that's going to look like when this comes back, and they can't take all of them in the long run, right?
And here's my thing too with AEW. They already have so many people that are on their roster and they're not using.
Oh yeah.
So that even brings a question. I know people were questioning, like, are they going to end up letting people go before people are even saying, oh, well, they can go here and they can go there. And it's like, yeah, they could, but is that something we're not going to see it for a while? If that is what it is. That's my personal opinion. I don't know if anyone else agrees with me or not.
No, I agree.
Silence.
No, I agree. I'm just excited for the whole Heath Slater going to the Indies for a couple years, coming back to the WWE and winning the title.
Yes, he just needs
Like the trifecta.
he needs to
The
continue.
3MB.
I mean, it's the cycle, right? The reason he hasn't come
Yeah.
back and got a belt because he was never let go.
This is it. They
So-
know it. He knows it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty good blueprint to follow too. I mean, two guys that you were alongside of for I don't know how long 3MB was around, but two guys that you kind of shared the road with that you saw the pattern that they followed. I mean, it's laid out for them, and I guess for anybody else. But didn't some of the like Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson and Mike and Bria Kanellis, didn't they just resign like 3-4 months ago? I think.
You want me to Google that shit?
I don't know how recent though.
I know Gallows and Anderson recently re-signed. I read something about that. It's kind of like I wonder if it was one of those things where they're like, "Hey, let's take some of our higher priced talent that we're not really utilizing appropriately and kind of lay low for a little bit and see what happens." Which, again, probably not the best PR because they're a company that can eat that money, no problem. Plus, they are still running, and they still have money coming in. They still have their streaming service. They still have all that, but. Interested to see where we're going to be 3 months from now, 6 months from now, or well, the way things are going, 3 days from now.
Yeah, it's definitely not the usual conversation when we do these big LACOs. Be like, hey, we're not really using you much. See you later. As we usually have about this time after WrestleMania. It's a, hey, things are not okay right now, and Rusev probably will come back. Everybody's got an open door policy for the most part on this, probably, right? So I mean, hell, we've seen people come back that didn't seem to have an open door policy. So, it'll be really interesting when things spin up to see who ends up where. We thought the landscape was already going to be a little different there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have to bring up something wild that came up this week, and Ronnie, I know you were talking about it on Gold this week. Did anybody catch the hashtag wrestling Twitter after dark on Monday evening?
Yeah.
What the hell was going on out there? I don't know where this started. It just the great thing was Mad Mike from our show was not that Mad Mike Quinn from our show was live watching the main event kids movie on Netflix. So I had kids movie tweets and then whatever wrestling Twitter after dark was, which was a lot of stuff that I can't unsee.
Let's be real here, Sorg. Half of those pictures of half of those people that were posing, especially some of the guys here, a lot of it was fake. Let's be honest.
It was fake.
Come on, really?
I didn't follow it deeply enough to start analyzing, Calvin.
There were a lot of boobs.
There was a lot
Here's,
of
boobs. There were a lot of cucumbers and pans, and
okay.
I didn't want to see half of that. Did I?
What did I miss? I missed something.
Oh,
You missed
so
anything. Quinn, you didn't miss a thing. Trust me.
Okay.
enough for me to quit Twitter. That's what you got out of it.
Everyone's like, "Oh my god, where was your wrestling Twitter after dark?" And I'm like, "Please, I don't need to be after dark to show."
We're actually classy motherfuckers.
Yeah, I know I'm good looking. I don't need to wait for a Twitter hashtag to tell me I'm good looking.
They're funny shit came out of that. Somebody actually stole all the pictures and put it on a website.
Yeah.
So
And a few people were bitching about how their property was taken. It's like, well, once you put that shit on the internet, that's kind of your problem.
That's a common theme nowadays.
So wait a minute. So the tweets that I saw about that linked to a website that embedded the tweets.
Mm-hmm.
Like they didn't copy paste the pictures and upload them. They embedded the live public tweets during this. Like somebody can go delete that tweet and it disappears from that page. So was anybody actually taking the pictures and reposting them?
No, he just did that, and everybody's like, "You're taking my private property." Like, first of all, no. When you put shit on the internet, it's out there now.
Yeah,
Like,
I never
you
understood.
do this to yourself.
This is just more proof that not only do wrestling personalities, but apparently wrestling fans also don't understand how social media works effectively either.
Yeah.
Can we throw a copyright class into wrestling training, Quinn? When you started school up again, can we put that in the curriculum maybe to help people out? This seems
Poor man's copyright.
Poor man's copyright.
I need to trademark some things myself. I got to look into that.
Yeah, I think everybody's doing that after some things have come up. So yeah.
Back in the day, all you had to do was fill the thing out, put it in the mail it to yourself so it gets time stamped and don't open it. At least that was the rumor. And all of a sudden it's copyrighted.
I'm pretty sure that's still a poor man's copyright because I
Okay.
actually do have stuff from 2006 sitting in one of my file folders.
See, at least you
Really?
confirm that.
Yeah, stuff that I'll probably never ever. I don't think anybody's going to be stealing any of my names or monikers, but if they do, time to cash in.
I think I paid like $300 for my name a long time ago.
Really?
What the hell did you do that for?
Huh?
Why'd you do that?
'Cause I
Nobody
wanted-
wants your name.
Just in case, like, you know,
You
my
named
name's
Ronnie Stark's name your real name?
no, it's not my real fucking
No,
name,
it is.
man.
Shh, wink, wink.
Oh yeah, it's my
No.
real name. Yeah. No, I
Ronald H. Starks.
Ronald
I thought
H. Starks.
Ronald H. McDonald.
Oh, how many times a day do I hear that joke? A lot.
I don't know, at least once.
Hey, you be nice to Sean Patrick's
A little
son.
short to be
Yeah.
wrong.
I got a serious question though for Ben. What
Uh-oh.
are those two stuffed animals in the background doing?
Yeah, go get those right now. I want to see them.
Oh yeah, that would be two stuffed dinosaurs that
Yeah,
I
and they're
got on
humping.
2 trips to Canada, huh?
You're going to have to go like PG-13 or something with what's going on back there.
You
I mean, they have
go,
clothes on.
Go grab them. Bring them over here.
That's why it's PG-13.
Hashtag
It gets a little weird here in my office.
hashtag BC After Dark. Apparently.
I like the Deadpool chair going on there.
One.
Oh, look at them dinos. That's cute, I guess.
Yeah, we can attest that I did not purchase those. So
Yeah,
I like how you threw them off camera so nobody can see them now. You're like, all right,
well,
they're not
that
there anymore.
actually
they're
looks
still
a
in the
little bit
same
worse.
position though. See,
Oh,
I knew. Holy
Wait,
shit!
Wait, go
6
back.
and 9.
Yeah, 69, bro.
This is BC Office After Dark.
Hashtag.
And it's not even dark yet. So if you wait till you see what happens when it does become dark.
Hey, you can get your freak on any time of day. So
But you get it on TikTok, BC. Get that on TikTok.
that only goes like 30 seconds. I mean, what am I going to do for the other 28?
Seriously.
Getting dressed.
Right.
Well, thanks for the good time. I had fun.
Oh, Jesus.
Really upsetting second half. Tatiana's pointing out, I guess some of the pictures taken were from Patreon that were supposed to have been available for purchase. Yeah, that's an issue. Let's see any article about Pornhub, because nobody gets paid in porn anymore, at least like as much as they used to. So I mean, hell, there's wrestling on there. So there you go. Ty Cross says he has your real name in the chat room, by the way, Ronnie. I can't pronounce it.
Yeah, it starts with an M.
No,
That's does not start with an M, Ronnie.
no, it
No.
does not.
So it's not my real. What did he say?
Starkentowitz.
Dark Antowitz.
Starkentowitz.
Stark Antowitz?
Yes.
That's your first name?
That's his
Apparently that's my last name.
Ronald Starkantowitz.
That's my
Yes,
name.
his family actually shortened the name when they came over here to Ellis
From-
Island back in the 1700s.
They registered in 1917.
There was a character limit back then.
Man,
Yeah.
man, you must have had a big problem with AIM, didn't you? Getting all that
Let
in
me
there.
tell you. Yeah. Let me tell you.
Why is my connection
minute.
slow? Because I'm chatting with you.
Was it AIM or was it AIM?
AIM.
I think it was
Really?
I mean, we all called it AIM, but yeah, I think it's officially. I mean, it stood for something, right?
I have something messenger. All I know is
AOL
Quinn used to
Instant
ignore
Messenger.
everybody.
AOL Instant
Dude.
Messenger.
Who used to ignore everybody?
You did.
There's no different now.
I know
It's
that.
just, it's just called text message now. That's all.
Yeah, except you can ignore a text. Well, I guess you could ignore it.
I didn't even think about that. Did wrestling booking completely happen on AIM back in the day? I remember the MySpace days because I know that's how we got some of our first interviews.
AIM.
Wait,
I know.
can
I
I
know
tell
like AOL Messenger.
Yeah.
Quinn? Can I tell a funny booking story?
I don't give a shit.
Well,
Excuse me.
So Quinn, I don't know if he still might be a text. He would get messages from people. Hey, I have an idea. Yeah, what? I should wrestle so and so. Okay, what's the idea? That was it. And that
Yeah.
would be like a constant stream. That's one of the ways I learned how to make sense of of booking and to kind of deal with nonsense was seeing the random messages from wrestler A. Hey, I should wrestle Brandon K. Well, why should you do that? Because it'll be a good match. Well, no shit. Brandon K's in it. He's the best guy in the area. Of course, it's going to be a good match.
Yeah, that's yeah. I don't know. I don't understand what's so hard about the three parts of a story: beginning, middle, end.
Hmm.
It's not a hard concept. I mean, you go read goddamn little choo choo that could or whatever the hell it was. It still has a beginning, middle, and end. You know what I mean? When you're 2 years old, it's uh, yeah. I used to get that a lot. I want to wrestle this guy. Okay, and like Ben said, well, why? Oh, it'll be a good match. Okay, what do you do after that? Well, I didn't think that far ahead.
Yeah,
Well, then go back to the drawing board.
always got to have a plan.
And isn't that literally, or not literally, but isn't that usually where you start the ending and then just kind of move backwards?
For me, I mean, I don't know what anybody else does. For me, that was the easiest. I knew where you want to go with something. You know what I mean? And then go backwards and well, this would be good, that'll be good. Do this or whatever. And just figure out a way to start it. But I mean, you got to know where you want to go in order to start something. I mean, you can start something if you don't know where the hell you're going to go. It's not going to turn out too well. What are you
I
doing?
I definitely get what you're saying with that, but I also have a little philosophy and just with my thing with just my thought process. I always like to start from the beginning and have numerous places that it could go. So it's kind of the same thing, if that makes sense, Quinn.
Yeah, I mean, you can absolutely do that. I mean, the
Like there's
biggest
still an
thing,
end result, but it's just
right?
like
Well,
this
that's
is how
that's the thing. As long as you have an end result, again, you got to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. I mean, you got a beginning and an end. Yeah, you can fill the stuff in between, and it doesn't have to be exact. I mean, this booking and putting together a show and wrestling a match are essentially the same psychology, I think.
Hmm.
I mean, if you look at there's three acts, and that's pretty much what it is for a match. Three acts. You got the beginning, middle, and end. You got the filling out process. You got the heel heat. You got the babyface fire. Putting together a show. Just same concept, same psychology. Everybody is a wrestler or whatever's been taught the uh, what's it called, the roller coaster or whatever. It's the same concept for a show. I mean, you're not going to have to go out there and put four tag team matches in which I have seen
Hmm.
booked before and been on it shows where four tag team matches were booked, and then all four singles matches were booked. There was no tournament, no rhyme or reason. It was just because they didn't know what the hell they're doing.
the way it was.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you're putting four heels over in a row, and then you wonder why the crowd's dead. Well, it's a roller coaster effect. It's the same thing. It's like psychology basically goes in every scenario. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know shit. Maybe I'm wrong.
It's this one of the first things I said when I was on Sword Show, and it's a Les Thatcher line. That's where I got it, which he actually said the same thing. Was wrestling matches anything with psychology? It's like sex. If you pop 2 seconds in, then where do you go from? Like you've hit the climax of it. There's nowhere else to go.
So you're right. Unless you're ready to go a second time. I don't know.
Well, I mean, maybe in my younger years, but
Uh,
But yeah, just think if you really went before you even did anything. Jesus.
mhm. Dean Radford's in the chat says still takes Quinn 15 to 30 days for a response. Usually starts with my bad, didn't see this.
Mhm.
Tell him to go fuck himself. It only took me 2 days.
We got a lot of people out there. Ty Cross is out there. Tyler's out. Tyler Klein's out there. He felt personally attacked. I think that was my fault. Tatiana, like I mentioned. What's up, Thomas? What is up? I think I see John Roden out there hanging out. Titan. And thank you, everybody, for joining us here live. Like I say, it's a wide open thing. If you have any questions to throw into this conversation, please drop that in the chat room. We got Facebook Live, Twitch, and the Periscope open here. So if you're on any of those, say hi. That was quality. Anything else? Anything else you guys are doing? Are you watching wrestling, or is it just kind of out of sight, out of mind for you? Are you taking the opportunity to still I don't know, catch up with anything at this point other than Tiger King?
So I'm definitely still watching. It's kind of been bumming me out lately, though, to be honest.
Yeah.
I just feel like I see things and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to try that or do my own version of it, and then I'm just like, oh wait, I can't. So, but no, I'm trying to stay up with everything. I try to keep all my current stuff, but I've actually been doing I've been trying to rewatch the Monday Night Raws and then watching the pay-per-views that lead up to it. I actually just finished watching Fully Loaded 1998.
Ooh.
So, I mean, I've been doing this for a few years. It hasn't just been like since this has gone on. So I'm not that wild with it, but I don't know. I just love that time. Like I remember really getting into Monday Night Raw and just watching it all throughout, and kind of reliving my childhood a little bit. It's fun. It's definitely something that's been fun for me. And I think Sunday Night Heat's just about to start in that world too, so I could add another show onto all that. So
Nice, and that's always fun because you see a lot of faces like long before. I mean, like, let's an AJ Styles pop up like Velocity or something around that era, maybe,
we'll
or probably a little
see.
later.
We'll see. I don't know because I know they had. I don't think they had Saturday Night Live or Saturday Night Live. Shotgun Saturday Night. I don't think that's on the network yet.
No,
Fortunately, I haven't been able to watch that. I think it started past where I am now, but um, yeah, there were some other shows like I think they had Jacked and Metal, but I think those were only on local cable affiliates. I don't think those were on.
It's like UPN or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be on the network, unfortunately. But that's still kind of crazy thinking about it because they have stuff that could be on the network that's not on the network. So
you never know because I mean they're putting like WCW Saturday night, and then like was like main event or worldwide or something. They're starting to put those up, the primetime shows, and those are like kind of secondary and third, tier shows for them, right?
yeah,
In some cases. So I mean, they're always going to be looking for something to put up, and somebody's going to be like, I want to watch Jacked from like 1999 and see what happened there. Like they haven't. Why not put it up at that point, right?
Hmm.
So, not that they're going to run out of wrestling to put up at any point here. So, but I guess I got to make up for it if they're going to be putting everything on like FS1 on Tuesday nights for the duration. So there you go. What about the rest of you guys? You guys catching up on anything?
Yeah, I'm sitting in Memphis, 1982.
Yeah.
Actually, that is when I'm watching that Mid South. I've been at work, nothing but time basically. So I've been
Mm-hmm.
listening to a lot of podcasts. Cornette, Jim Ross. Who else? Arn Anderson. That's a good one. Bischoff. I like listening to each of them just to get different perspectives and shit. Doesn't mean I agree with everything they all say or disagree with everything they say, but it definitely gives you a different perspective from behind the scenes or what happened back in the day or stuff like that. So just trying to, I don't know,
I didn't know
stay
Arn.
for.
I didn't know Arn Anderson had a show.
Yeah, it came out a few months back, I think.
Okay.
Uh, it's pretty good. It's pretty insightful. Arn definitely doesn't pull many punches, so that's good.
Mm-hmm. What about you, BC?
I started watching a lot of promos, um, just from like random dudes. It's funny that Quinn mentioned Arn Anderson because Arn was a guy that I think is really good and underestimated as far as being a talker. But I've been trying to find Smoky Mountain stuff too because you would get guys that were like in WCW, like Bobby Eaton or Arn Anderson or somebody that just kind of had free reign and could kind of not goof off, but just do whatever they wanted. And in a just I did see there was a question in the chat from Ty Cross. What's everyone's favorite Bret Hart match? More importantly, what's everyone's favorite Ty Cross match? And I can personally answer. My favorite Ty Cross match is his last match. Boom.
that's weird. I thought you would say any match with Golden Sheik in it. Thanks, Ben.
Actually, whenever they would get beaten was my favorite match. Legitimately, my favorite match is probably where I was a tag match in Black Diamond where Edric kicked Peyton Graham in the face so hard he ended up getting really messed up. Not for that reason. I meant it was a good match, but that was just a kind of a bonus. But
It still stood out to you though. You're like, hey, you got fucked up. But yeah,
in all seriousness, that match kind of made me go like, wow, these guys are okay. These guys are good. Maybe I underestimated. Maybe there's something that I didn't see there because that match was really good. And anytime Peyton Graham gets kicked in the face, I mean, that's just a good time.
All right, so favorite Bret Hart match.
Him versus Shawn Michaels Iron Man match. It's what I go to all the time.
I was gonna say Hart versus Hart from WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, him, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was a high point.
In all honesty, I think Owen was the better Hart anyway. But that's just my opinion.
Did Ty Cross ever wrestle Bret Hart? Can I pick that?
He's such a superstar, the stud man. Of course he did.
Honestly, I'll say Bret Hart and Chris Benoit in the Owen tribute match from Nitro.
I need to rewatch
Yeah.
that.
They went like 25, 30 minutes, I think.
Mm. What about you, Quinn?
So
I'm gonna go a little bit different route, just because I just recently watched it. When Bret Hart was still with Jimmy Elvin Neidhart, Hart Foundation against Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. I think they only ever did it like one time, but it was really good.
What, Mania, right?
I don't know when it was. I just
Yeah. Yeah, because they weren't in for very long.
Nah.
Ty Cross. God, why do I agree with Ty Cross right now? Because it's exactly what I was going to say. Just so he can fuck with me. Brett versus Piper for Mania.
That's the winner.
That's the one where, because it was one of those rare, you didn't get face versus face a lot back then, right? And that was 8? Was that 8? And
8, yeah.
So yeah, it really kind of stuck out, and for me, like it was a dynamic you didn't get around then, and being young, just you didn't see that.
Nobody said Bret Hart versus Al Dandy.
Did that match actually happen?
I don't know, but Al Dandy is a great athlete.
Well, nobody would doubt El Dandy. Who are you to
He's
doubt?
still alive. Do we know that? Did he pass, or is he still alive?
I'm on it.
Ronnie's our research department tonight.
Thanks for
Is and El Dandy still alive? Google's gonna
Yes.
be like, who the fuck is El Dandy?
If you have any other El Dandy related questions or late 90s WCW luchadors, you can contact Ronnie Starks on Facebook.
Or don't.
or just don't.
I say an Edric and him recreated the ending in a PWX match against each other. Apparently, the Piper and Brett match.
why?
Yeah, that doesn't make much sense, guys.
Russ is saying Brett versus Austin. Brett versus Razor from Thomas out there.
Well, that was a good one too. Brett versus Razor. I didn't even think about that. I think people sleep on that match.
Mm-hmm. It was a rough time. So
There's a good match. I don't know if there's a readily available if it's on the network, but there's a Brett and Dynamite match. It's a ladder match from Stampede in
I think
I
it
want
is
to say mid to late 80s. It's really good.
because that was on the Bret Hart documentary, wasn't it?
Oh, cool. I know I've seen it, but I don't remember the context or the medium. I might have been on VHS or Betamax. It was so long ago.
Well, I think that was on the documentary, which should be on the network. I want to say yes.
He's still alive.
He's still alive. Okay.
Yeah.
How old is he? Say?
Hey,
He's
can you look up Cyclopay
57.
now?
Who?
Cyclopay
Yeah, I'm on it.
or Super Callow?
See, that's probably easier for me to do. Thank you.
That is my favorite luchador. I have his mask up in my on my shelf.
Super Callow.
is it the one?
Mexican.
Is he the one that had the hat?
And the
Yeah.
sunglasses,
Yeah.
yeah.
Gray mask. thing.
Yeah.
Was it purple? Gray, right?
Super Callow.
How about Prince Ikea?
Are you guys gonna just make me look for all this shit?
Hey, you volunteered, Ronnie.
I mean, no, I'm on it. Super Callow, Wikipedia. When is Wikipedia ever wrong? All the time. He is still alive. He is 49 years old. He's had some good gimmicks, man. He was Geordie Stone, the Love Warrior. Yeah, that makes sense. I love really shitty old gimmicks
Like
that just
Oz?
never got over. Yeah.
Did you say Oz?
Somebody else. Sorry, it came up with something. I forget what I was watching on the network, and they talked about how they gave him like an entire like chest that he had to travel with, like a Foot Locker chest or something, to put that entire outfit into to travel with him. That he'd have to check everywhere, which had to been difficult in early 90s, right? Like 91, 92, was it? When that
Yeah, it was
happened?
around then, somewhere around there. Yeah.
Well, that's some stuff that you need to pull up. So
That's exactly what a 6'10" guy wants to do: is carry around a giant chest through every single airport in America.
Hopefully, we'll get an Oz WWE Elite someday.
Yeah, keep wishing there, Ronnie.
It's a 3-pack. It's Oz, Master Blaster, and Super Shredder.
Jesus.
There is a Super Shredder figure coming out. Yeah, NECA's dropping one with a alternative Kevin Nash face, apparently.
Really?
Yep.
So you,
You can interchange it. Pull
Yeah.
off the face, put the other one on.
I'm joking. There's no Kevin Nash face, but it is Super Shredder though.
See, that's bullshit.
there needs to be, just so you can mix that in with your wrestling figures.
I'm legit gonna just pop a Kevin Nash hat off and just put it on Super Shredder. I'll be like, boom, we're fucking done.
It's like I gotta get two of them because one's gotta be Super Shredder, one's gotta be Kevin Nash Super Shredder, right?
Oh, now you're gonna make me spend more money than I have to.
Sounds like a personal problem, Ronnie.
Well, yeah, it is.
Just think if you could do that with wrestling figures that like take their face off, put on somebody else. You do like Dusty Rhodes onto the Undertaker and shit.
Didn't they? No, they did that though. They did these interchangeables like, and it was like Roman and Cena and stuff. It's a Mattel thing from a couple years ago, but they were like super like this one's a Roman warrior kind of thing, and you could mix and match all the parts and reconfigure your wrestlers apparently. Like if you
By
want
parts, you mean like legs and stuff too?
yeah, like the legs and heads and everything. But again, they weren't like ring gear. They were like other themed things going on.
They called them Create a Pro.
Yeah,
I think it's what. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it was really.
You're full of entirely too much information.
It's the dumb shit that I have information on, Quinn. That's the problem.
But then you don't know how old El Dandy is, so you have to look it up.
Well,
yeah, come on, you gotta get on the ball. That's just terrible.
Oh, fuck.
What kind of piece of shit doesn't know how old El Dandy is?
I know,
Seriously.
right? Fuck, I'm gonna quit the business.
Jesus.
Bye, Ronnie.
Was that too much?
You were ever in?
I guess.
Who are you?
Oh.
Weren't you in that locker for 7 years?
Yeah, that douchebag over there finally let me out that one time.
Still my callback ever.
It was the best promo ever. It really was. Good times.
That's great. Hey,
I want to go in there and steal that locker. We're just gonna break in, take the locker, take it to the new place.
Guys, let's a version of how I usually roll out of this. So one of these shows, Ronnie, you'll appreciate this. What have you learned from a month of quarantine so far? It's gonna be introspective.
Oh, okay. I have learned that
you said
Ronnie. When it comes to money, it is very, very easy to make people happy and very, very easy to make people distraught and sad. And that is not me setting up a pun or a joke or anything. I think it's something where we should really look at finance, and everybody should educate a little bit more on money and its value.
So everybody needs to take a consumer math course, is what you're saying?
Well, they can. YouTube is a wealth of information. Google Dave Ramsey baby steps, and you'll be ahead of the majority of people.
There you go.
So,
there you go. What about you, Calvin?
I would never want to be on house arrest. Let's just say that. So I'm going to be a law-abiding citizen from now on. Not like I wasn't before, but
from now on.
This is definitely house arrest.
Yeah. No, but just don't take things for granted. There's a lot of things that I haven't been doing that I really miss and I really love. And, I want to say it's unfair that things have been taken from me, but I'm not, like I said before, I'm not the only one in this situation.
Yeah.
I'm not the only one feeling like this. So just take everything for granted and really take your health seriously, and just be thankful for waking up and getting out of bed every day, because there are some people who right now aren't able to do that. They're not able to wake up in their own bed even, let alone walk around their home. So, that's something that I think, it sucks. It's a crazy time, but technology is such a great thing right now. If this would have happened 20, 30 years ago, we might be seeing a completely different situation.
Mm-hmm.
So, knowing that you just got to count your blessings when it comes down to it.
Absolutely. What about you, Quinn?
Calvin just took mine. That's bullshit.
Sorry.
That's really though. I mean, it's even like the simplest things that you just could just randomly go into a supermarket and just get like a Gatorade or whatever. Now you got to stand in 6 feet apart and all this other stuff, and then you go in there and you see everybody with their plexiglass or whatever. I still don't get the concept of that. Like I understand you don't want it to be breathed on each other, but can't does the virus get like stuck? Is that a force field? It can't go around the plexiglass. There's 18 inches around or something. I don't know, but no, seriously, just kind of miss just being able to do the simple stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like I was in Target the other day, and I was in the minority as far as not wearing a mask.
Right.
Maybe I'm an asshole. I don't know, but and it just
You're also taller than everybody, so maybe it's not coming up that high.
that's right.
Yeah.
So that should be good. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The other big thing I know not to do now is sneeze in the middle of Walmart.
Oh, did you get dirty looks?
Yeah, it was kind of cool actually.
What a heel.
I just go into Walmart to get some heat.
It was good. It was like 5 or 6 people when nobody's practicing the safe distance or anything, so I couldn't help it. I sneezed. And
I had somebody compliment me on my mask, yet was right beside me when they did it, and I'm like, wait a minute, where are we tracking this here? Ronnie, you got anything?
Well, other than everybody's just batshit crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Which, let's be honest, there's gonna be a lot of people that most of us aren't gonna like or respect after this is over. Because a lot of people are just really freaking crazy right now.
This seemed like the week that people kind of went off the deep end a little bit, isn't it?
Oh, everybody went off the rocker. It was bad.
Mm-hmm.
It was a point where I'm just like, I think I'm gonna stay off social media for a couple days and just kind of let this all buff out. But like from a guy who has to deal with people on a daily basis at my wonderful place of employment, we do not have shields up at all. We barely have any kind of protection at all. So our store is just kind of whatever. But it's great. They don't respect personal space at all. No customers do. So I've been coughed on, sneezed on, all that fun shit.
and that was me yesterday.
Yeah, you fucking prick. No, I'm slowly just dealing with it. I think for the first couple of weeks, I'm like, well, this sucks. I'm gonna get paranoid now. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
If I get it, I get it. And I'm just gonna have to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, what can you do?
You're not going to get double corona.
No, I'm only gonna get it once. I'll tell you one thing: I will never work in the grocery store world ever again when this is all said and done. Like I already told Sorg I'm getting a new job when this is over. So, yeah, it sucks.
If you have a job,
How do they know you can't get corona twice? How do they
I
know
think
that?
you can.
No,
I was gonna say, is it like chicken pox? You can't get it a second time?
I think they're still working on the science on that, but there are reports that some people may have been re-corona. There's a better. I know this is not a science podcast,
Right.
guys. Please subscribe to one of those, okay? There's
They
a wonderful.
they tested them. They test them again. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just watching this. They got tested a second time and they got positive. I think it's from the first time though. Like it's still in their system,
Mhm.
but it's not like bad.
Yeah.
But you know how the media is.
The problem is anything for them to determine is going to take time to study correctly to be able to say anything for sure. They're just like, this could be this because we saw this case. So take everything with a grain of salt. The doctors are telling you what they know, and this is a fast developing situation, unfortunately. So we won't know until we look back what actually is going on and everything too. So. Anyways, I hope everybody is staying safe out there. Worried about you, Ronnie, for one, and I'm worried that Quinn's gonna sneeze in the wrong place.
Don't you sneeze on me, you son of a bitch.
I'm too tall for you. I go right over your head anyway.
There you
I'm
go.
like, what was
Next
that?
person.
It's safe. It's safe. Like, is it raining? What's
Raining Quinn snot.
anything you guys want to plug out there in the meantime? I know Calvin, you have some stuff coming up.
Oh yeah, so I'm gonna do some more outfit of the day posts on Instagram. Might end up being videos. I don't know yet. We'll see what happens. But I am actually taking requests for certain things to review. So shoot me a message or a DM of what you want me to review, and I'll do some videos. Maybe I'll do a few previews on YouTube, and then if there's enough interest, maybe I'll put some stuff on my Patreon. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm just kind of out there. So, what else am I doing though, right?
Excellent.
So let me know what you guys want to see from Calvin.
Ronnie Starks, you're still sharing toy info.
Yes, I'm gonna start doing some more toy related stuff. Tyler and I need to do some stuff soon.
Yes, give me a date.
Yeah.
We'll do another one.
We have to. I wanted to start doing it regularly.
Klein and
And then
Stark's excellent toy adventure is on the IndyWrestling.us YouTube and on SorgatronMedia.com.
it's tubular. Can I use that because it's excellent adventure? I don't know.
Sure.
It's tubular.
It's tubular, and then I'll start doing stuff on TikTok too. I guess
Oh, God.
unboxing toys, not dumb shit.
Yeah. Well,
No comment.
no Ronnie After Dark.
No, 'cause
BC,
I'm not.
you have a TikTok too?
I do. BC_Steel on TikTok. Ronnie and I are going to do a makeup challenge on there.
Oh!
BC_Steel on Instagram. BC Steel on Facebook. One SF Podcast. Not that I actually still have a podcast on Twitter. And if you
Now
are
that
on
that BC, by the
well,
way.
episodes to soon be released in 2027.
Oh, good.
And if you have Facebook, and this goes out to everybody, go to Snopes.com, go to PolitiFact, and go to Fact Check, because there are way too many of you people that should not be allowed to breed, breathe, or live amongst us civilized people. And if you check those websites, you'll be a little bit smarter, just a little bit. So for the sake of everybody and higher IQ individuals such as myself, just read. And if you can't read, look at pictures.
You'll at least be like worried about real things. And
Yes.
Yeah.
And check out Calvin's outfit of the day, because they're literally 10 out of 10 every single time.
There you go.
I'm gonna have to have a good one for tomorrow, just because you said that. I already have one in mind. It's all good.
And Quinn, you're making waves over on your end of the internet too.
I'm trying. Let's see. Go to Fight Underground Facebook, because you can check out some people going underground. Some of the classic and historic figures from years past, doing some reveals and stuff like that, joining what's going on. You can go to futhrowdown.com for the website. Check it out. The roster page is really cool on there. So, and then Calvin, I got a question for you.
What's up?
You said you're reviewing stuff. You play video games?
Do I play video games?
Yeah.
Kind of. Not really.
Oh, well, shit. See, I was going to ask you about the game Animal Crossing. I asked Brandon Kay and I asked Chris Taylor, and neither one knew shit about it. I didn't know if it was any good.
I can tell you about Animal Crossing.
Is it any good?
I like it.
Right now.
Is this something I would throw like my controller through the TV?
It's really relaxing, so I think you'll like it.
Quinn, don't play it.
Don't play it?
Don't play it.
Okay. I got to check out what your next outfit is. It's going to be cool.
No,
I didn't even know you did that.
What's that?
So you can make a wrestling ring in Animal Crossing.
You can do a lot of things.
Yeah, I know.
How the hell you do that? Backyard Animal Crossing wrestling.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody put up their entrance and said this is my 2020 highlight video. So yeah, that's for real.
When you have a lot of time on your hands, you can do anything on Animal Crossing. I'm about 6 hours in Animal Crossing, and I've barely scratched the surface. So
Dutters had a Godzilla in her Animal Crossing. She was showing off on AwesomeCast this week.
That's awesome.
It breathes fire.
What?
So, yes.
When I heard like in the beginning, you couldn't hardly even play at all, like half an hour at a time and shit like that, because it goes in real time. Unless
you can play for hours at a time.
I feel like I don't have enough patience for Animal Crossing.
Yeah,
I don't have enough patience for anything. I was playing baseball and got pissed. So.
Yeah.
Oh, we need more angry Quinn.
That's what I'm saying, Quinn. Don't even go there with Animal Crossing.
Oh, Quinn needs to start a Twitch channel where he's just yelling at everything.
A Twitch channel, I just twitched from being so goddamn angry.
Yeah.
All I'll hear on Twitch is, why did I listen to Ronnie fucking play that fucking game? Like, I'm sorry, bro.
I did get Final Fantasy. I like that.
There you go.
Yeah. Dude, you can't find that anywhere right now.
You can download it.
Yeah, I went to Walmart and Target yesterday, and the guy's like, "Yeah, no."
You sneeze?
Stimulus checks.
No.
Well, anyways, let's let you guys get back to those games. Thank you so much, everybody on the panel. Thank you, everybody jumping in the chat room. And if people are willing, we'll keep doing this just to give you guys a little bit of a distraction and get some stuff off your chest here. So thank you. Please support wherever you can. Again, over at IndyWrestling.us, we do have a COVID-19 page with Pro Wrestling Tees, Patreons, whatever the case may be for a lot of, I think it's just been updated with several names over the last couple of days. So if you, I know some people have been saying, I got my stimulus check, I'm going through and buying stuff. Even that somebody named Dolph Ziggler has been buying some people's shirts lately. So, so good to see all the support there through this. Please, until next time, however you can, support indie wrestling.
You know how I act now. If you got a problem, come and see if I'm a back down. Act wild. Steady sipping Jack now.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.